Okay, so today I'm going to show you a little bit about the accessibility features on a MacBook Pro. I think this is a 2013-2014 computer. So you go into your system preferences, which is this one right here, and then you click on accessibility. So the first one is just a bunch of shortcuts. So for instance, it says up here that if I press these, which is Option Command F5, it pulls up and it tells me about the accessibility options. And it has the voiceover to tell me. So if I press Tab, if I press that, and that would be really helpful for someone with hearing impairments or sight impairments. Actually, just helpful for someone with sight impairments. And then this is voiceover. So each accessibility feature is labeled for like how they could help you. So vision, and then hearing down here. So the voiceover provides spoken descriptions of things on the computer. So it's kind of like what just happened. So if I click this, so it'll tell you what's on the screen. And that could be helpful for somebody that can't even, see the screen, but they can still interact with the computer. And then these are like just for people that have really bad vision, so you can zoom in. So this is toggle zoom, so you press the Option Command 8 and it just zooms in like right where your mouse is. And then you zoom back out. Or you can just press the normal zoom option and that just zooms in straight into what you're doing. And then you can use the scroll gesture instead to key. So you press the command. I'm pressing the command right now, and then I use my trackpad and I just swipe up and it zooms in. Or you could switch the key for that if you want. And then smooth images just makes the screen image a little bit smoother. So it's easier to see. Zoom follows the keyboard focus. So for instance, if I was zoomed in here, and I was typing, see, it follows me as I go across the screen. Okay. Zoom back out. And then speaking items under the pointer. So I have it set to only when zoomed. You can set it to always. And you can also change how long you have to have the pointer there before it talks. But just to show you what that looks like. So it talks to me when I do that. Let me turn that off because I don't want that. And then you can change the display so they can see it differently. So you can invert colors, use a grayscale. You can increase the contrast so you can see the box became a little more obvious there. And they can change the contrast like that. I don't know why anybody would want it like that, but if that helps you see better. And then you can change the cursor size so it's really big, so it's, not hard to lose. And then if you just want to have a normal size, but you don't want to lose it, because sometimes you do because it's so small, you can do this, and then when you shake it, it gets bigger so you can find it. And then you can change your voiceover speaker. I like Alex, he's the only one that sounds normal, but yeah, this is Victoria. And you can change the speed. I'm going to go back to Alex because I like Alex better. And then you can enable it so that when announcements come in over here in this part of the screen, it will tell you, and it will select, it will speak selected text when the key is pressed. So it wants me to press Option Escape. So when I select this and I press Option Escape, it reads it. So that could be really helpful for someone who can't read something on the screen specifically. And then these are just for like helpful media things, and they're for people with hearing impairments. So this will give you an audio description of content and media. So that's only if it's available. So it kind of depends on the media, but it will just play it automatically. And then subtitles. This is for like Apple movies. So it's something that you have to purchase like in the iTunes store. It will show up differently on videos online, but you can change the subtitles if you want. And then this is also for people with hearing impairments. So it flashes the screen. This is kind of what it looks like when you get an alert up here from one of the apps on your computer. And then you can play stereo audio as mono, which means basically like with music, sometimes the sounds come through different headphones. So if you had left hearing impairment, it would be difficult for you to hear certain sounds in the music because the ones that are coming through the left side, like you wouldn't be able to hear them. So it plays the music all the same in both headphones so that you can hear the whole song or video. And then this is dictation. This would be helpful for somebody who has a lot of difficulty using keyboards, so somebody with fine motor skills or difficulty with fine motor skills. So basically you can say these things to the computer while you're typing and stuff, and it will work. And then you have a keyword phrase. I made mine bacon. I couldn't get it to work on my computer. I think there's something wrong with my internal headphone. Or microphone. I usually use headphones for it. But that's just how you work. You say it to the computer and it will start dictating for you or like writing it out. And you can change that keyword phrase to whatever you want. It'll play a sound on the computer when this is recognized or when one of these commands up here is recognized. And then this just makes it so that the audio output is muted while you're talking. Siri. If you have difficulty talking to Siri, like on my computer, you could type to Siri instead. So that might be that might be for somebody who has like a speech impairment. So that makes it easier for them to access Siri. And then we have this keyboard. This is sticky keys. Sticky keys would be helpful also for somebody. Both of these, somebody with difficulty with fine motor skills. So if I have sticky keys on and my options is set to press it 5 times to turn it on or off, I'll show you what that looks like in here. So I pressed it 5 times. It was already on. Oops. So now sticky keys is on and I press option separately from C, but it brings up this like fancy C. But then if I turn off sticky keys, off, and then I press option separately from C, just a normal C comes up. So sticky keys kind of just like holds down a key, which could be difficult with someone lacking fine motor skills. In slow keys is really similar, where you have like someone who maybe like can't pick up their fingers as quickly. So I have to hold down the F key a lot longer than I normally would. If I type it really fast, I mean, you can't see me typing it, but I'm typing it really fast. It doesn't show up on the screen. And I had to press the backspace really long. So it's helpful for people with difficulty with fine motor skills. The mouse keys is for you use the second set of number digits on a keyboard to move the mouse, which I don't actually have that second set on my computer, so this wouldn't work for me unless I had a separate keyboard attached to it. But basically you can change the speed of it. This just recognizes, like, when I'm using the trackpad, how quickly I need to do the double click on my trackpad. So if I had difficulty, if I was kind of slow, you know, I could do a lot slower double click speed for that. And then switch control. So this is helpful for people who have handicaps with mobility, somebody that might be constrained to a wheelchair, might have difficulty typing. So the switch control basically allows you to use a separate switch to control the computer. So you could use a mouse instead of the trackpad. The trackpad is kind of difficult for some people. The keyboard, so that was like the mouse keys that it had over here. And then the gamepad buttons, I've seen people use this because it's easier. They can just have it right in front of them and they can track it on the computer instead of trying to use a mouse or typing. And it just has ways that you can change it for all of them. So this is for people who, you know, are typing and they might have difficulty picking up or dropping their fingers, you know, fine motor skills. So it'll insert or remove spaces automatically in your text, and it'll capitalize sentences if you, that would also be difficult if you couldn't really like hold on to the shift and then press the letter to make it capital. And then this is just the switches that you use over here. You can choose which one you're doing. And yeah, these are just other ways that you can change the switch, which I would need to have another switch to show you how to do that, but you just click on that, add the other switch. There's a little platform thing that shows up over here. It shows you how to move back and forth using that. So those are all things that would be really helpful for somebody with different disabilities. I mean, people with vision impairments, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, hearing impairments, things that make it easier for them to access a computer.